What is up, guys? It's your boy Vox, and yes, we have fallen to the dark side. I'm going to be showcasing to you the majestic Floowandereeze that just released in Master Duel, and before going to the deck profile, you know what to do. Do it! And as always, any information that you would want in the description down below. Now let's start with the deck profile. For a hand-sharp lineup first, we're playing triple Maxi with triple Ash, triple Dimension Shifter with the 2 Called by the Grave. Dimension Shifter is incredible since it doesn't hurt the deck at all whatsoever, but completely wrecks everything else. But you need to keep in mind that Shifter can conflict with your Maxi, since Maxi needs to go to the graveyard in order to resolve, and with Shifter, everything is banished instead, so remember that. Obviously, if at the moment all you face in the right ladder is Floowandereeze, I would probably remove few copies of Shifter or Maxi even, and add Effect Veiler or Infinite Permanence if you have them available. Lastly, some people choose to add one Diddy Crow since you can search it off Robina for even more graveyard interruption, but again, that's completely up to your preference. Now for the Floowandereeze monster line, we're playing triple Robina with triple Englen, 1 Stree and 1 token, and lastly the 2 Empen. Let's start with Robina. What she does is, if this face-up card would leave the field, banish it instead. If this card is normal summoned, you can add one level 4 or lower Winged Beast monster from your deck to your hand. Then immediately after this effect resolves, you can normal summon one Winged Beast monster. If a Winged Beast monster is normal summoned to your field while this card is banished, you can add this card to your hand. She basically searches you the small Floowandereeze monsters or your Barrier or Harpist for you to continue your plays. She is quite frankly your best starter. The effect that all small Floowandereeze monsters share is that first, if they would leave the field, they're banished instead. That's why I said that Shifter doesn't hurt this deck at all. You will basically be able to recur them back into your hand with your next normal summon of a small Floowandereeze. And the other effect that all Floowandereeze monsters share is when their respective effects resolve, you can normal summon them again. Now for Englen, his effect is, if this face-up card would leave the field, banish it instead. And then, if this card is normal summoned, you can add one level 7 or higher Winged Beast monster from your deck to your hand. Then immediately after this effect resolves, you can normal summon one Winged Beast monster. If a Winged Beast monster is normal summoned to your field while this card is banished, you can add this card into your hand. Englen is basically the searcher for your big Winged Beast monsters that we have into the deck, basically for you to add either your Empen for setup, your Ryza to break your opponent's board, or your Apex Avian for you to have the extra negate. Then we have the Stree. Its effect is, if this face-up card would leave the field, again, banish it instead. If this card is normal summoned, you can target one card in either graveyard, banish it, then immediately after this effect resolves, you can normal summon one Winged Beast monster. If a Winged Beast monster is normal summoned to your field while this card is banished, you can add this card into your hand. Basically a Diddy Crow effect for both graveyards for you to either empty your own graveyard to use your Dimension Shifter again, or for your small birds to recur them, or remove a key card off your opponent's graveyard. It's an incredibly useful effect. Then we have Token. What it does, if this face-up card would leave the field, again, banish it instead. If this card is normal summoned, you can target one of your banished Floowandereeze cards, add it to your hand, then immediately after this effect resolves, you can normal summon one Winged Beast monster. If a Winged Beast monster is normal summoned to your field while this card is banished, you can add this card into your hand. An incredible effect for you to recover your banished cards, to normal summon into the field and continue your plays. Quite a phenomenal extender if you already have banished Floowandereeze monsters into your banished pile. And last but not least, for the Floowandereeze monster line, we're playing not 1 but 2 Empen. His effect is, if this card is to be summoned, you can add one Floowandereeze spell or trap from your deck to your hand. Then immediately after this effect resolves, you can normal summon one monster. While this tribute summon card is in your monster zone, your opponent cannot activate its effect of special summon monsters they control in attack position. And once per battle, during damage calculation, if this card battles an opponent's monster, quick effect, you can banish one card from your hand, that opponent's monster's current attack and defense become halved until the end of this turn. He is your searcher for your Floowandereeze spell and traps, he is your boss monster for the deck, and his quick effect also protects your board and can potentially provide follow-up depending on what small Floowandereeze monster you banish to activate his effects. We don't use Snow since we have Dreaming Town, and in my opinion, Snow is completely unnecessary. And now for the one-off monsters, one Barrier Statue of the Stormwinds to basically lock our opponent. Then one Harpist. Her effect is, this card's name becomes Harpy Lady while in the field or the graveyard. Her first effect, when this card is normal summoned, you can target what other Winged Beast monsters you control and one face-up monster your opponent controls, return them to the hand. And her second effect, during the end phase, If this card is in the graveyard because it was sent earlier this turn, you can add one level 4 winged beast monster with 1500 attack or less from your deck into your hand. She is basically a small Ryza and also has extra interruption if you also run Harpy's Feather Storm into your deck, which is quite incredible. Then we have one Mist Valley Apex Avian. Its effect is, once per chain, when a card or effect is activated, quick effect, you can target one Mist Valley card you control, basically Apex Avian, return the target to the hand, and if you do, you negate the activation, and if you do that, you destroy it. Here's your Omnigate, a very powerful card. And lastly, for the one-offs, we're playing one Ryza the Mega Monarch, an absolute powerhouse, and he's also a rare. His effect is, you can tribute summon this card by tributing one tribute summoned monster. If this card is tribute summoned, target one card on the field and one card in either graveyard. Also, if this card was tribute summoned by tributing a wind monster, you can target an additional card on the field, place the first targets on the top of the deck in any order. Also, after that, return the additional target, if any, to the hand. Ryza is absolutely incredible. He can break boards. He can also put useless, irrelevant cards on the top of your opponent's deck. What more could you possibly ask for? And now for the spells and traps, we're playing one Harpy's Feather Duster since backrow decks wreck us completely. Then one Terraforming to search us the map. Then for the draw power, we run triple Pot of Duality with triple Pot of Prosperity. Some people go for the extravagance route, but I personally prefer Prosperity. Then we have triple Floowandereeze and the Magnificent map. What it does, during your main phase, you can reveal one level 1 Floowandereeze monster in your hand and banish one Floowandereeze card with a different name from your deck. Then immediately after this effect resolves, normal summon the revealed monster. If your opponent normal summons a monster, immediately after this effect resolves, you can normal summon one Floowandereeze monster. You can only use its effect of Floowandereeze and the Magnificent map once per turn. An incredible card that not only gives you one extra normal summon for your turn, it also allows us to play a normal summon into our opponent's turn as well, and this is how this deck can completely stop opponents. Then we run one Floowandereeze and the Unexplored Winds. What it does is you can conduct tribute summons that require 2 tributes by sending one monster you control and one card your opponent controls to the graveyard instead of tributing. It is still treated as a tribute summon. During your main phase, you can reveal up to 2 winged beast monsters in your hand and place them on the bottom of your deck in any order, then draw the same number of cards. You can only use this effect once per turn. A phenomenal card that basically helps us out cards off of our opponent's field when we want to tribute summon our big winged beast monsters. Then we have 2 Book of Moon. Book of Moon is basically here so we can dodge targeted negation effects, so we can resolve our small Floowandereeze effects and continue playing. Keep in mind that set monsters can be tributed for tribute summons, so there is literally no reason to not run Book of Moon currently. And then finally, for the one trap, we run one Floowandereeze and the Dreaming Town. What it does, during the main phase, immediately after this effect resolves, normal summon a level 4 or lower winged beast monster. If you tribute summon a level 7 or higher monster while this card is in your graveyard, you can banish this card, change all monsters your opponent controls to face down defense position. You can only use this effect once per turn. Not only it gives us a normal summon into our opponent's turn, you can also Book of Moon your opponent's entire field, basically shutting them down, and if you tribute summon a level 7 or higher monster. Now for the extra deck, in which 9 out of 10 times we won't use, since we don't really special summon, but there can come situations in which you might need some options that we have. First, we have one Invoked Mechaba, which we summon off of Cyber Dragon Nova, in case your opponent is going to resolve Dogmatica Maximus against us. We would dump Nova and then Ferrigit, and we would get a +2, and Omni-Negate on the field with Mechaba and the draw 1 plus return 1 from the Ferrigit. We also have a small Zeus package with the one Lyrilius Nightingale, one Downward Magician, in which you would go after battling with your Nightingale, and then finally your Zeus, if it's needed. Then for the links, we have one Relinquished Anima and one Salamangreat Almirage. They can be useful in specific situations. Then for the link 2s, one Nightmare Phoenix, since we hate backrow decks or Zombie World. Then one Rin, the Wind Charmer Verdant. What she does is you can target one wind monster in your opponent's graveyard, special summon it to your zone this card points to. If this link summoned card is destroyed by battle or is destroyed by an opponent's card effect while in its owner's monster zone, you can add one wind monster with 1500 or less defense from your deck into your hand. She is basically here for the mirror match and as an extra option for us to go into the extra deck. then 1 IP Masquerena, 1 Nightmare Unicorn, then we have 1 Simurgh Bird of Sovereignty. What he does is cannot be used as link material, your opponent cannot target this card or a winged beast monster this card points to with card effects. If this card would be destroyed by battle, you can destroy one other Simurgh card you control instead, and during the end phase, you can special summon one winged beast monster from your deck, for your hand or deck, with a level equal to or lower than the total number of unused spell and trap zones into the field. He's basically here to summon off of IP on your opponent's turn. If you're in a grind game, the protection that he adds to the monsters he points to can be extremely useful, plus the free special summon onto the end phase. And then lastly, 1 access code talker with 1 Underwood Goddess of the Closed World. As I've said earlier, the extra deck isn't very important since you will rarely use it, but it's always nice to have options in case they come up. Now that we're done with the deck profile, let's show you guys some combos to show you how the deck plays, and then with a replays. For our opening hand, for the first combos, you can see we're kind of bricked, but we still have the pots, so let's see what we can get. First, we're going to start with Duality. We got Stree, and then we got the Terraforming. We're going to get the Terraforming. I'm going to activate Terraforming first, in case they have the Ash still, they didn't use it. I'm going to get the map into the hand with Terraforming. Then I'm going to activate Prosperity. I'm going to banish 6. I'm going to banish, in this case, let's banish Mechaba, Isle Mirage, let's banish Win, let's banish the Unicorn, Access Code, and Underwood Goddess. Doesn't matter, as I've said. Revealed Egglen, Ryza, Pot of Duality, Shifter, Book of Moon, and Shifter. We're going to get Egglen into the hand. Get these cards back into the deck. I'm going to activate our fail spell. We're going to activate map, revealing Egglen, and then we're going to banish Robina. We're going to normal summon Egglen, activate chain link 1 Egglen, and then to chain block, chain link to Robina, so our opponent cannot Ash Egglen, in case they have it. Chain will resolve, Robina will add back into the hand, and Egglen will add us. Since we have the Empen already, we're going to add the Apex Avian. Then we're going to normal summon Robina. Robina is going to add us the Wind Barrier. And then we're going to normal summon, we're going to get Floowandereeze Empen into the field. We're going to tribute Robina and Empen. Then we're going to chainlink 1 Empen and then chainlink 2 the Egglen. Egglen is back into our hand. And Empen will search us Dreaming Town. And lastly, yes, we will normal summon the barrier statue. And now we have locked our opponent. We have follow up with Egglen in our opponent's turn, since we also have Dreaming Town, which we will set. And this is basically the most standard Floowandereeze combo that you can get, with not only locking your opponent, you also have follow up with the Floowandereeze and the Magnificent Map, and also with Dreaming Town. So you can normal summon twice to go into your Egglen, then your Egglen would add your Robina back, and then you could basically be able to get your Avian on the field as well, and you could also search the Continuous, the Unexplored Winds, and then you could go even further. Let's show you guys the second combo now. Now for the second combo, we will start with Pot of Prosperity first. We're going to dig for 6 again. We're going to banish the standard things that we would banish. Most of the times doesn't matter. We're going to reveal Ash, Pot of Duality. We're going to reveal Stree, Robina, Barrier Statue of the Stormwinds. We're going to get the Barrier Statue. I'm going to get them back into the deck. Then we're going to normal summon Robina. Activate Robina's effect to search Egglen. Then we would normal summon Egglen. Activate Egglen's effect to search us the Empen. Then we will tribute summon the 2 Egglen and Robina to get Empen into the field. Empen, chainlink 1, Robina, chainlink 2, Egglen, chainlink 3. To make sure that an Empen will resolve with chain blocking with our small Floowandereeze monsters. This is a pretty standard play. Egglen will get us, will come back into the hand. Robina will get back into the hand as well. And then Empen will get us the Dreaming Town into the hand. Then again, we'll normal summon Barrier Statue. And then we're going to set Dreaming Town into the Spell and Trap Zone. Basically with this setup, on your opponent's turn, you will go again with Robina into Egglen, and then with whatever they have, then you can break their boards with the Ryza that you drew, or you could even search your Ryza with your Egglen again, or you could search your Mist Valley Apex Avian for the extra negate. Now that I show you guys the basic combos for this deck, let's show you the replays. For the first replay for the Floowandereeze deck profile, we're playing first against Adventure Phantom Knights. We're going to start with Pot of Duality. I'm going to reveal Book of Moon, Eglin, and Robina. I'm going to get the Book of Moon to guarantee the resolution for Robina. Robina is going to add Eglin. I'm going to normal summon Eglin to add us the Empen. Then I'm going to tribute them both to get Empen to the field. Empen chainlink 1, Robina chainlink 2, and then Eglin chainlink 3. By now you probably know how this goes. This is a standard line that you would go for your chainlinks for your Floowandereeze monsters. Eglin and Robina will get back into our hand. Then Empen will search us the Dreaming Town. Then we're going to normal summon a Barrier Statue. We're going to set Book of Moon and Dreaming Town, and we're going to bash. Our opponent is going to Fool's Burial. We're going to Dreaming Town immediately. Chain will resolve. Dreaming Town will let us normal summon Robina. He will dump his Water Enchantress. Robina will then activate her effect, as you can see, to be able to search as a small bird and also allow us to normal summon. Our opponent is going to chain Forbidden Droplet to send his Phantom Knight's Wing and Fogblade from the hand to negate Robina and Empen, but you will be able to see we will Book of Moon, chainlink 3, so we will basically protect Robina and basically guarantee her resolution. Since she is face down, he cannot target her. Robina will resolve, she will search us this tree, we will normal summon Stree. Stree's effect will activate, and we would basically banish the Water Enchantress of our opponent's graveyard, and he basically insta-scooped. Let's go and show you guys the second replay. For the second replay, we're playing second against Live Twins. He's going to activate his Live Twin Sunny Snitch. We're going to chain Dimension Shifter immediately. Chain will resolve. He will search his Live Twin Lila. He will set one and pass. We are fine. We're absolutely fine with this. Draw phase, we're going to draw our Barrier Statue. We're going to activate Terraforming first to check for hand traps. Since we have the map already in our hand, we're going to get the map. We're going to activate Pot of Duality to reveal Shifter, Maxi, and Stree. We're going to get Stree into the hand. We're going to activate the map first. Activate map to reveal the Stree. We're going to banish the Robina. Activate Stree's effect to basically get Shifter off of the graveyard pile. Then chainlink 2 for Robina. Robina is going to get back into the hand. And then Stree will banish the Shifter. And our graveyard is also free now, which means that we could Dimension Shifter again if we need it. Our opponent is going to chain Infinite Permanence into our Robina. Unfortunately, we can't do anything. We don't have Book of Moon. So the resolution will not happen. But then we're going to get Mist Valley Apex Avian into the field. Stree will basically get us. Stree is basically back into our hand. We're going to attack with Avian and end the phase. At this point, we're not really well set up, so we can't really do anything. We're going to activate his Lila, his normal summon, activates her effect. We're going to chain Magnificent Map, obviously. We're going to normal summon the Stree. Lila will search his Kissy Kill. Then Robina will get back into her hand. He will go into his Centuria. He's going to attack into our Stree, going to destroy it. And then he will go into his Dawned Magician. And you guessed it, he will go into his Zeus. He will activate his Zeus Chainlink 1. Obviously we're going to respond with Apex Avian. But then by doing that, we basically force him to chain again. So his Zeus is basically empty. Even though, as you will see now, the Apex Avian effect for the negate and destroy will not resolve, since in order for Apex Avian to resolve, it needs to return to the hand. And if that happens, then we negate and destroy. That didn't happen because Zeus chain-linked 2 times basically, 1 and 3. So unfortunately, we could not destroy his Zeus, but that doesn't matter too much. Then he's going to activate Secret Password to add the Sunny Snitch into his hand. He's going to activate his Sunny Snitch, get his Twin Lila into the hand, and he's going to end his phase. We're going to draw Dimension Shifter, we're going to activate map immediately, show Robina, we're going to banish Eglin, and then on normal summon Robina, our opponent scoops. Let's show you guys now the third replay. And now for the third replay, we're playing first against another Adventure Phantom Knights. We're going to first Terraforming to get the map into the hand. Our opponent is going to immediately Artifact Lancia. we're going to instantly chain Cold by the Grave, since if Lancia resolves, we cannot banish cards for us to basically recure our small Floowandereeze monsters. Chain will resolve, we're going to negate the Lancia, then we're going to activate Prosperity, we're going to banish 6, we're going to reveal Maxi, Shifter, Duality, another Shifter, Book of Moon, and then Robina. We're obviously going to get the Book of Moon. Going to activate the map again, reveal the Robina, and then we're also going to banish the token. Normal summon Robina, chainlink 2 for token to basically protect the Robina from resolving. We're going to chain block once again. Token gets back into the hand. Robina will search us the Eglin. Then we're going to normal summon Eglin. Eglin will search us the Empen. Then we're going to tribute Robina and Eglin to basically tribute the Empen into the field. Empen chainlink 1, Robina chainlink 2, and then Eglin again, chainlink 3. The chain will resolve once again. Both Eglin and Robina will come back into our hand. And then with Empen, we will search the Unexplored Winds since we drew our Dreaming Town. Then we're going to normal summon Toucan, activate Wandering Winds, and then set Dreaming Town. We're pretty fine at this point. Our opponent's going to Water Enchantress to banish from the hand. We're going to instantly activate Dreaming Town. The chain will resolve. We're going to normal summon Robina with effect of Dreaming Town. We're going to get Use Right of Aramazir. Robina effect will activate to search Barrier Statue of the Storm Winds. We're going to activate Eglin. Eglin will add the second Empen. We're going to tribute both of them to add Empen into the field. Again, Empen chainlink 1, Robina chainlink 2, and Eglin chainlink 3. You're probably tired of seeing this, but this is the right play to make every single time. Eglin and Robina again will get them both back into our hand. And then Empen will add us another map for us to have. Then I'm going to get the statue into the field, and our opponent scoops. And now let's show you guys the fourth and final replay for the Floowandereeze deck profile. And for the fourth and final replay for this video, we're playing second against, guess what, another Floowandereeze player. He's going to normal summon his Eglin. We're going to instantly chain our Ash. The chain will resolve. Eglin is going to get negated. And then he's going to activate his Unexplored Winds. He's going to return his Empen and his Robina back into the deck to draw 2. He's going to set 1 and pass. We're going to draw our Ash. We're going to instantly activate Pot of Duality. We're going to reveal another Ash, one Eglin, and then one Maxi. Obviously, we're going to get the Eglin. We're going to activate Unexplored Winds. Normal summon Eglin. Eglin will add us Empen. And then activate Unexplored Winds to use his Unexplored Winds and Empen to basically get Empen into the field. Then Empen effects will activate chainlink 1 Empen, chainlink 2 Eglin. Eglin will come into our hand again. And then Empen effect will search us Dreaming Town. We're going to set Dreaming Town on our battle phase. We're going to destroy his Eglin and then end our phase. The misplay that you guys saw here, for example, is that I set my Dreaming Town on main phase 1. That was a huge misplay because if he had evenly matched, he would be able to basically banish these two for free. So that was a misplay. Always, once you want to set cards, do that on main phase 2. And then on turn 3, he will activate Dark Ruler or more. He will resolve. He will activate Pot of Duality. I'm going to Ash this. And I think that he probably doesn't have another Floowandereeze monster in his hand. Chain will resolve. But unfortunately for Ash, he had his token in hand. He will activate his token, targeting the Eglin to return it to the hand. Then he will normal summon Eglin. He will get his Empen into the hand. He will get his Empen into the field by tributing Eglin token. Empen chainlink 1, token chainlink 2, and Eglin chainlink 3 for him. The chain will resolve. He will get both his token and Eglin into the hand. Then Empen will search him the map. And on resolution, I'm going to chain Dreaming Town to normal summon Eglin. Eglin will search the Empen, and then he scoops because he knew what was coming. So that was it for the deck profile, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Floowandereeze, they are extremely fun. They are extremely anti-meta if you know how to play them. And obviously, you know how it goes. As always, make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy content like this. And I'll see you guys on the next one.